I'm so excited to be sharing today's Dear April with you, number 2. So welcome to my channel. I'm April. This is the Dear April advice column. I go live here on my YouTube channel where I respond to your questions and your problems on these topics: mindset, sales, marketing, motivation, brand, personal development, relationships, spirituality, navigating change. So I just want to invite you to join me every week and a special guest as we offer helpful advice to help you to overcome obstacles and unleash your greatest potential. So with that said, this is number 2. Let me share what this is. Number 2 question that I received this week is this, and I got my notes that I'm reading from. How would you approach your friend who is formerly your coach? I don't want her to feel different or judged. I would just like to say what my piece is going through her course and giving her feedback, as well as what can be possibly modified in her coaching style. So my advice to them was this person. Well, the truth is, dear friend, the truth is when I first read this, I thought, I wonder if this is one of my past clients. I wonder if this is about me. Did I say something wrong? Or is this just a story that I'm making up in my mind and it really has nothing to do with me? Either way, I want you to know that I'm always open to caring, honest feedback and suggestions to help me to grow. Anyway, back to your question. It's awesome that you have valuable feedback and suggestions for your friend and your former coach to help her grow. So the problem is we can't see our own blind spots. That's why we need people who we can trust, who can lovingly shine a light on our stuff so that we become aware of it. I believe that relationships are a sacred assignment from God, even if it's at work, a coworker, a boss, a marriage, a good friend, anyone. I believe certain people are placed in our life for a teaching and learning opportunity to help each other grow through caring feedback. Oftentimes, the thing that we are judging as bad in another person is like a mirror reflecting back to us something we don't like about ourselves, or an area that we need to improve, or an area that we're currently not set free from yet. That's why we can see it in them. It's because it's within us. Other times, we're just here to provide valuable feedback. Maybe it's something that we've already overcome. So the best approach for giving valuable feedback without ruining the relationship, in my opinion, is this. Number 1, check in first. Is this feedback coming from a place of being critical or judgmental towards another person? It must come from a place of caring to genuinely help someone. Be neutral. Number 2, it's always important to ask the person if they are open to feedback first. That's the first step. You can tell by their response if they are open or not. And if they are open, set up a call. Don't just text them the feedback or email them the feedback, because they won't be able to understand the tone of your voice when you're saying it. They could misread it. Number 3, I really recommend using Simon Sinek's approach for giving feedback or having hard conversations. I think it feels so authentic and caring. I'll drop the link for a short little, like a 2-minute video that Simon Sinek shared on YouTube. I thought it was really great. It's a 3-step process that he uses. I would modify it to make it relevant for your situation, whether it be a friendship, a coach, a former coach, or whoever it is. But I'll drop that below, but that's a good one. And then lastly, as hard as it is, I encourage you to be open to feedback. We all need to be open to feedback regularly for ourselves. And this helps us grow too. So here's a quick true story. So 2 years ago, I bravely asked for feedback from my husband, a few friends, and even a few family members to help me to grow. This was hard, one of the hardest things I've ever done, and scary. My husband had been telling me that I was just too direct and too intense with my communication at times. I didn't even realize I was doing this until he pointed it out. And then as I dug deeper into what causes a person to be too intense or too overly direct in their communication style, especially being intense. And when I started doing research through psychology, I discovered that childhood trauma is a key cause of emotional intensity as an adolescent and an adult. Trauma can disrupt our sense of self and ability to control our emotions. It impacts our emotions, and that can impact how we communicate to people that are closest to us, and even strangers for that matter. And then I started to suspect, I wonder if my intensity, when I'm really direct and really intense in my communication, could be stemming from the abusive marriage that I was in starting at age 16 years old to age 23, which was childhood trauma. I never even thought of that before until I looked this up. So I don't want to be too intense or too direct to where it starts to harm my relationships. So I made a decision to go into therapy and to do my inner healing around this, to really check into it, to see, am I being too intense? Or is my husband just being sensitive that day? What's going on here? And I want to say this, there's nothing wrong with being direct and intense at times. That's needed for good leadership. But when our intensity and being too direct is pushed too far to an extreme, and it starts to hold us back in our life or in our career, and it starts to harm our relationships, that's when we need to deal with it and heal it. So I just made the decision to take the step and check into it and do some inner work if I need to around that. I'm doing that right now, actually. So I hope that this was helpful for you. I know it's not always easy having a hard conversation with a friend or a coworker or a spouse or anybody around us, a coach that we've had or a mentor we've had. But I think in the end, if they're open to it, it'll be really good for both of you. And that's all I have for you. I'll see you soon. If you'd like to submit your own question or a dilemma or a challenge that you're having around any of those topics, you can submit it to Dear April. Below this video, there's a link. It's anonymous. You can go ahead and go there in the comments now, find the link in the description of this video, and click on it and submit your question. And every week, I'll be answering your questions. See you soon. Bye.